The Iroquois Tomahawk, made by Knives of the North. That's what we're talking about in this video here. A Native American tomahawk. But did Native American tomahawks look like this originally? No, they didn't. Most of the Native American tomahawks and axes and bludgeoning weapons, if you want to call them that we found, had wooden handles, but the axe head wasn't steel. It was either rock or bone. Some of it sharpened, even with a spike. And then some just were rocks with a smooth face, usually used for bludgeoning, you know. Now the tomahawks come in different sizes. Most common size, 15 to 18 inches, like this one is here. But in ceremonial cases or for extended length in combat, we've seen them come in between 23 and 24 inches. If you're riding on horseback, you know, it'd be a lot easier to swing a hatchet or an axe with a longer handle. Or if you're even on foot, combating an enemy, you're going to want that extra length. So it was common to find some upwards of 24 inches. But this one here, the Iroquois Tomahawk, made by Knives of the North, is pretty damn cool, But before we get into this axe here and what makes it so cool, I'm going to send it over to Dave, and he's going to tell you the specs on the Iroquois Tomahawk.
The tomahawk we have here is made from 410 stainless steel. The axe edge is 3¼ inches long with decorative scrollwork in the axe head. The axe head attaches to an 18-inch hickory handle with a circumference of 3 inches. With an overall weight of 19 ounces, this tomahawk is very maneuverable, but has enough weight to smash into your target.
The European settlers are really what drove the tomahawk to what it is today. They're the ones who brought the axe heads and the steel over to trade with the Native Americans to make what you see here in this video, or something similar. Now, like Dave said, this tomahawk came in at 18 inches. I cut the handle down to 15 because I think 15 inches makes it perfectly weighted for a tomahawk. This thing was great for axe throwing. It really was. It was very versatile. It felt really good in the hand. Playing around with this grip tape here, hockey grip tape. I normally don't put these on my axe handles, but I've been testing it out to see how well it works compared to a natural wood handle. Going pretty good so far. But this thing was just so versatile with the grip tape or without. I think if you got this and put grip tape on it or left it bare, it would be a great flyer. It worked out really well. I had a great time throwing it at single rotations. Coming in at a pound and around 3 ounces, it's very nimble. You can pull off all kinds of different throws with this tomahawk, and it was very seamless at a single rotation. Heavy enough to hit hard, but light enough to be nimble with. Spinning back throws, sideways throws, getting this thing out fast, smashing into the target, you can do with the Iroquois Tomahawk. It just worked out really well at single rotations. Had no issues throwing this teardropped handle. That's exactly what it comes with, a teardropped friction fit handle. And it feels really good in the hand, it really does. It's a very smooth release. And of course it's hickory, so it has some great properties when it comes to strength. Maybe you're missing a lot or bouncing your axe around. This handle took abuse, which is what I really liked at single rotations. I had a few knob strikes, a few top handle strikes on the head up here. No issues at all. It felt really good out of the hand into the target. One of the reasons why I like throwing tomahawks so much is because they're so versatile. Not only are they great for single rotations, but they're normally really good for distance throwing too. Double, triple, quadruple rotations. You can throw them back there really easily. You don't hurt your arm, and they still have enough weight in them to smash into the target. They're very accurate too. Just about every single tomahawk I've ever used, with the exception of 1 or 2, and that was because of the weight distribution in the axe head. But for the most part, they fly really well at distance. They just do. And they're really accurate. They feel great coming out of the hand. Clean release. And you can normally do what you want to do with them at distance. They're, like I said, they're very accurate. You can manipulate them to put a little curve on them if you want because they're so light. And they just work out really well. You can stand back at double, triple, quadruple rotations, and it doesn't feel like you're heaving this giant hatchet out of your hand, but you still get great penetration and force when it hits your target. As far as penetration with the Iroquois Tomahawk, at average, I was probably getting anywhere between 1 to 1.5 inches of penetration, throwing it moderately, which is pretty decent. Now, when I was throwing it hard, I was getting upwards of 2 inches, maybe a little bit more, maybe 2 1/8 inch of penetration when I was throwing it really hard. Now, I think you could probably get more penetration if you thin down these cheeks. I didn't. This area right in here where you see this line, I think if you thin that down, you could probably get upwards of 2.5 inches of penetration throwing it really hard. But overall, just sharpening the bit and taking the cheeks down a little bit on here, it worked out great for axe throwing. One of the reasons why I wanted to get this Tomahawk is because it came in 410 stainless steel, and I wanted to check the edge retention. After throwing it pretty much for half the day, guys, it's still really sharp. So I am very impressed with the edge retention. No gouges, no edge rollover, no nothing. I put my edge on it. I used a whetstone at 1,000 grit, and it worked out really well. So the edge retention on this thing is awesome. I don't think you'll have any issues with it at 410 stainless steel with a Rockwell hardness between, I think it said 38 and 42. So not bad. I mean, I was smashing softer wood, but it's a little hard. I mean, it's rained for a while and the wood's dry now. So, I mean, it's hitting pretty decent. And I was throwing it hard and the bit just held up, guys. Held very well. As far as the axe head fitment on this handle, it was awesome. Came to me perfect. I didn't have to do anything to it. It was on there tight with no space at the top or the bottom. And what I really liked about it was that you have a bunch of excess up here at the top. In case you do get some head strikes, you can adjust it if you need to. So they give you a lot of room to work with up there, which I did enjoy. I did enjoy this handle better at 15 inches than I did at 18 inches. I threw it at 18 inches, but I just felt like it was better at 15. So when I cut it down to 15 and kept throwing it, I noticed that it flew a little bit better for me and I was a little bit more accurate. That could be different for you, but for me, I think Tomahawks are at their best between 14 and 16 inches. Just my opinion. Overall, what do I think about this thing? I think it's great, similar to cold steel quality, in my opinion. Now, the only things that I didn't care for was that the axe head is painted black. So it's going to come off really easily, okay? I mean, you can repaint it if you want, but that was one thing that I did notice was that the paint came off fairly easy. Even when I was sharpening it, I would actually drag the whetstone across it and take, you know, up here or whatever, or just a few throws into the target, the paint was coming off. So you'll have to deal with that. The other thing that I didn't care for either was the grind that came on the bit when it got to me. It was all whacked. Now, I will tell you guys this. Be careful. Just a little food for thought. Be careful when you're looking at your axe heads and don't confuse a weird grind on a bit and confuse it with a bad forging, because you can get kind of messed up when you're looking at that. It almost looked like it was a bad forging. Maybe it was kind of kicked like this when you're looking at the bit face on, but that's not what it was. It was just the grind was off. So once I went back and fixed the grind, it pushed everything back in place and I had a very straight bit. But this thing right here is awesome, guys. I think it would do you well. The handle is a little thin. It almost reminds me of the Francisca axe by Condor, but it's good enough. I was able to use it. I wasn't finding myself gripping it too hard, and it just worked out really well. For about 50 bucks, this is what you get. They do offer sheaths. I didn't get one, but if you want to add a sheath to it, you can. I'll bring you guys some Black Friday deals if they have some on the Iroquois Tomahawk. I think you can't beat this thing for the price. Edge retention's great. It flies really well in the air, and it holds up. And these handles are freaking tanks. They really are. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comment section what you think of the Iroquois Tomahawk. If it's something you'd be interested in getting, I say go for it. I had nothing but success with this one, and it flew so damn well. I can't wait to throw it again. So, but until next time, guys, I'm out of here. Remember, it's always for the love of the axe. See ya.
Let's get everyone's panties in a wad. Should you burn your axe handles?
Yeah, I mean, that's a really good question, Dave. I know a lot of people out there debate charring axe handles. Some people say you should do it. Some people say you shouldn't. I'm going to give you guys my opinion real quick on charring axe handles and tell you what my experience has been. As you guys know, I've done it before on axes, but I'll tell you this. Usually staying within about right here on the axe handle and you're good. Just don't put a ton of heat to it. Maybe give it a little color, a little contrast, you should be fine. What you don't want to do is start putting heat down here at the knob or up here at the top of the axe handle. What'll happen is you'll dry the handle out. And when you dry the handle out and you get a knob strike or a head strike, you'll start getting breaking, splitting, and cracking. So like I said, stay within about right here on the axe handle if you want to give it some contrast or color with charring, and you should be fine. There's a bee. Like, really, dude? Like, get out of here. Piss off.
Away with you, flying menace.
Oh, Dave, you're going to get stung, man. You're going to get stung. Move.
Stop talking and get it the hell off me.
Well, I'm not getting stung. Get out of here. Get. He's back.
That's right.
Now he's going to sting me.
Get his
I'll
ass.
tell you what, you come over here, I'm going to whoop you. I'm going to whoop you with the Iroquois tomahawk. Come on back. Cut your wings off.